We have Jeff. You might know him as Norma, who's in the chat. He is a Miami-based driver and drives for InDrive and has been driving for the last 6 weeks with them. So we asked for a report on InDrive to kind of let you guys know exactly what it's all about. And we've got plenty of people asking, when is it coming to your market? When is it coming to your market? We're going to actually get into that. So we'll let you know. But Jeff, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
You are welcome. Thanks for having me, and thank you for kicking the Dolphins' ass last week. It was much appreciated.
Oh yeah,
look at you,
destroying them.
Look at you, all in InDrive gear right there, Mr. Ambassador of InDrive in Florida.
Just so you know, I have every gig with it shirt that you sell and your hat as well.
I was like, nice. Look, I was kind of thinking that you truly, I mean, look, I trust everything you do, numbers wise, especially, right? And you signed on with InDrive pretty much right away, right? It's almost like within a week of them showing up.
Maybe a month. I actually saw it on a commercial on a YouTube video. And then, there's a lot of fly-by-night propositions that I've seen over my 8 years here, come and go companies. But when I Googled the company and realized they've been in business 10 years, and this is their foray into the United States, it got me a little bit more interested.
Yeah. So let's start there. Let's start with the sign-up process. How quick was it? Obviously, look, we had Adam Warner, who's the head of U.S. operations of InDrive, a few weeks ago. It's on our channel. You guys can go watch it. We put out some InDrive videos, very popular ones. But you tell us about your own personal experience, the first start with the sign-on process.
Well, it was just similar to Uber and Lyft. You put in all the documents they asked for, nothing different than Uber and Lyft. You watch some videos and then you wait for the background check. I think where I got held up for 3 weeks was they were inundated with driver applications, and now driving for them, I see why. But so it took longer to do the background check, but you got to continue to follow up with support and nudge them a little bit, because I think that got me approved in 3 weeks. And they did apologize for the delay. And but it was that simple. And like Uber and Lyft, you have to learn the app by yourself. But the apps are in the same, like the passenger app and the driver app, you can toggle back and forth. So it's very easy to play around and learn both apps. So you can inform the customers.
So they don't have two separate apps like Uber and Lyft does, for one for passenger, one for driver? Or
they may, but the driver app is also, there's a little button at the bottom where you could say passenger mode. And I can go order a car for myself if I want.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, I don't know if I'd be the driver if I was online, since I'm in the same place. But.
Probably not. But so you're on board now. How long have you been in their system?
It's about 6 weeks. I have 85 rides, and that's by choice.
How many rides?
85.
85. Okay, that's I don't know. It's like 6 a day or 5, 6 a day. 6 weeks. Yeah.
No, a little less.
Maybe less.
But I always have the app on, because you can view every offer that comes through without any penalty.
So you gathered us a whole bunch of talking points, bullet points, what you see, the pros and cons. Give it to our audience straight, because look, I think honestly, Jeff and Chris knows, they may have been the most popular videos we put out over the past month and a half or so, because everybody is so fed up with Uber and Lyft. They go like, if there's a competitor that's going to pay us decent, and they're just so sick of them that they just jump on this. So I trust that. Look at all these bullet points. So he's going to talk pros and cons, and we shut up and listen to Jeff, and that's about it.
Well, I'm only going to cover the passenger app, briefly, because most of us really are not interested in that. But it's a simple to use app. There's 2 choices, a 4-passenger car and a 6-passenger car. There's no gimmicks. Priority, you want the car in 5 minutes, you want the car in 7 minutes, all at different price.
Okay.
So then you put in your pickup and your drop-off coordinates as a passenger, and a little box pops up with a suggested offer. And they told me, I had heard it with my own ears, they don't use algorithms to get the price. They have some kind of pricing method, but it's not algorithmic.
Okay.
And then you don't have to use that offer. So the app will let the passenger, let's say the offer is $23.
Okay.
You can start at maybe 20. It won't let you go too low. A little warning will pop up to the passenger that says the minimum price for this ride is X. So there is no lowballing. And again, even at $20, InDrive takes 0% for the whole year. So you're getting every penny of that ride. So that's usually how it works. You enter your pickup and drop off location, you put in your offer. It goes out. They have a radius set up depending on how many drivers are in the area, and it can go out to 5 drivers. They can all accept the offer as is, or they can counteroffer. And then all of those acceptance and counteroffers appear on the driver's screen, the passenger screen, and they pick the driver. So in essence, it's trip radar, except it's controlled by the passenger. It's not controlled by the entity, if that makes sense. And believe me, it leads to a little frustration because sometimes you really want a great trip and they choose somebody else, which also makes you have to have a rapport with the customers because they can actually favorite you in their app. So you will get to see a lot of their offers. That's really how it works. As far as the passenger side, these are also differentiators. All 5 minutes of wait time at the pickup spot are free.
Okay.
After you wait 5 minutes, it's 28 cents a minute that goes directly to you, and it starts on the first second after 5 minutes, not a minute after 5 minutes, and it's not fractionated. It's 28 cents a minute.
So is there a cancellation fee, by the way?
Yes, $6.25 after 5 minutes.
Okay.
A lot better than the $2.
I have only canceled 2 rides because in my mind, you're making a fair wage. And there are other things in there. Like when you accept, well, I don't want to jump ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Multi-stop rides are not available on the app. Reservations are not available, and destination edits are not available. And I don't know if that's coming in the future, but that's fine by me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, if I'm making $20 for a 12 or 13-mile ride, if somebody wants to stop at a Walgreens, I'll be more than happy to pull in and wait for them for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
There's no ID required to join, which means minors can join. I know that because I had my 17-year-old do an experiment, and I ended up giving him a ride on his own app. And photos are optional, just like the other 2. Tipping is allowed. And like I said, favorite drivers can be accepted in the app.
Okay.
And there's 2 or 3 quick things to me that really make it easy to convert my Lyft passengers to InDrive. The wait time is one thing. There's no surge pricing because it's an offer and acceptance. InDrive only acts as the facilitator to join the driver and the rider, so to speak.
Okay.
And that's it. The ride apparently is insured for the same amount as Uber and Lyft. And, the tolls are also included. That's a big thing you have to understand. So if you accept an offer from a passenger, it tells you on the offer screen that there's a toll of X amount on this ride. If you accept the ride, there's no charge back to the customer. So if you accept the ride, you pay the toll.
Oh, okay. I get you. Okay. All right.
And the other thing is that you did a segment on about female passengers and female drivers. Since the passenger picks the driver, that's a good way. If a female accepts the offer and a female feels more comfortable, they can certainly select the driver. And again, it really makes you try to establish a rapport with the customers, because of my 500 plus conversions to InDrive over the last 6 weeks, remember, I live in the 5-mile radius on Lyft. So I've actually driven converts multiple times because I'm always in the area and they see my face and they see my offer, and it works out. Like,
wait a minute. So do they I don't know, obviously, the app at all. So I'm just for our crowd, can the passenger pick a favorite in the app and then they always get matched with that driver?
I don't think they will get matched, but they will see that offer.
Okay.
And they can accept the offer. At the end of the day, it's the passenger that makes the final decision on who they want to pick them up.
Okay.
Most importantly, tipping is allowed.
Okay. The other thing that kind of while you were talking about that is, you said you picked up the same passenger out of your 80 trips that you did a few times, right?
7. Guy named
7.
Kevin. I've driven him 7 times.
Okay. Like you do a whole bunch more Lyft trips, obviously, because you use your air filter and stay within 5, 8, 10 miles of your house.
Yes.
How many times has that happened with the Lyft platform to you? The same passenger that you ended up picking up the same passenger?
Probably I have more than 8,000 rides, maybe 10 or 11 times.
Yeah,
Maybe.
figure that out, right? So this is kind of, a driver passenger relationship is being established here, and then they know you, they're comfortable with you and your car and you're driving, and hey, I mean, I like that part.
But again, here's the beauty of InDrive. And I just think of this. You give somebody your phone number, even if you
Yep.
drove them 70 miles away, and
Okay.
say, hey, look, if you know you need a car next week, give me a 2 or 3 hour heads up. I'll come and pick you up. I'll be near your house, and then we'll do it through InDrive.
Yeah.
Use them as the facilitator. They cover the insurance on the ride,
Okay.
which means I don't have to keep my liability policy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, again, there's a lot you can do with this app because InDrive only wants their cut. The rest, and
Yeah.
by the way, I have heard that their target cut is 18 to 20%, probably starting in January, but through the rest of the year, it's free.
Okay.
But again, my mind is always spinning, and I'm really pumped up about this company because I think they could, if nothing else, they can make Uber and Lyft have to lower their prices to customers and treat their drivers better.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that for like a minute or so. If you do a lot of Lyft trips. I'm not going to talk about Uber, but Lyft, Uber, same shit. Compare like the math of it or the economics of it of an equal or the same trip length and duration to InDrive, and what you're getting and what's happening to the passenger, as far as them getting a little bit of a discount and you keeping the whole fare. So to me, if you're doing like a, I don't know, 2-mile pickup, 3-mile drop off on Uber or Lyft, they're going to pay you $5 ish, somewhere in that range, without surge, without anything else, right? And on InDrive, that the customer's probably going to pay. On Uber or Lyft, customers are probably going to pay $8 to $10 for that trip. So they can go down to maybe $7, $8, right? And then you'll keep the 7 and 8. You're making more, they're paying less. I don't see anything wrong with this picture. Am I wrong or
no?
Right?
There's nothing wrong with the picture, and the biggest thing I get is astonishment. And I'll just do a real quick story. The first week, I picked up a Lyft passenger for like a 20-mile ride. And my car wasn't branded at the time. I think you have pictures of that, which you probably show later. And I picked this guy up, and he has 2,900 Lyft rides over 5 years. Now, just think if he uses Lyft and Uber.
Wow.
So I tell him about the app. He downloads it in the back, and then I hear mother effer, and I'm like, "What is everything all right?" He's like, "I would have saved $12 on this trip."
Oh shit.
12, and of course my mind is 12 times 2,900. I said, "You realize that's over $30,000 in the last 5 years that you would have saved if InDrive had been around."
Oh my God.
I don't think he'll be going back to one of the big two.
Yeah.
And again,
No,
it's that
probably
simple,
not.
right?
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
so as far as economics, look, and I'm not going to back off here. I live on Lyft because of the 5-mile radius. I still average 105 to 115 a mile. And that's how I base my business model. But the only thing is that's only on short trips. I've sent you some screenshots of some ridiculous offers for 100-mile trips. So I'm still partial to them, even though I leave my InDrive app on all the time because there's no acceptance rate quotas and you see every offer. But I've picked up people for as much as $2 a mile for a 6-mile trip. The lowest I've ever seen is like $1.05. Sorry. That's me.
Amateur.
$1.05 to $1.10. But every ride is $1 or more.
Okay.
And one of the things I do want to cover in the driver thing, but I'll hit it right now, is, one thing I get from my repeat customers is you won't believe how many counteroffers I get that are ridiculous. And look, we already know Uber and Lyft, how greedy they are, but there are a lot of greedy drivers out there. And that if you counteroffer somebody, you're not going to get a ride, because I think some of the drivers think that their offer is the only one that the passenger's seeing.
Yeah.
So there's going to be 3 drivers that accept the offer as is, and there's a couple of drivers who are going to send back a ridiculous counteroffer. So if that's where I kid with you that the CPU might be going through union busting, because but again, you said it. I would make $3.50 on a 4-mile ride with Lyft.
Yep.
I'm making $7 or $8.
Yep.
So why would I need to counteroffer? I'm already making a 90% more than I would on Lyft.
All the people who counteroffer double, triple is because they want to go back to 2015. Those are those people. So it's just not going to happen.
They have to realize that if they counteroffer, bringing the price up to what Lyft and Uber are, why would people use InDrive? They're just going to do a Lyft.
I don't see it. So we have a whole bunch of screenshots that we're going to go through real quick with you. So somebody said, can we put the bullet points up on like some sort of link? I wonder if we can do it, or in fact, I have those, if anybody's
the easiest thing is just screenshot it.
Yeah, screenshot that. Or look, I have it. I don't mind it. Email me, Sergio at RideShareGuy.com. Say, send me InDrive bullet points, something short. I'll attach it to your email and send it back to you guys. So, okay, so that's that one. So that's the bullet points. Okay, one thing that I need to talk about real quick here. I spoke to Adam Warner, in fact, today, and emailed him back and forth, actually. So there's one thing that everybody needs to understand. InDrive, InDrive's app, although they do have period 1, period 2, period 3 commercial insurance, just like Uber and Lyft does. And we put those insurance companies' riders up. They are saying they have insurance. However, when I pushed on it, as we all know, in both apps, Lyft and Uber, there is a way bill, something called a way bill. So if you get into a crash or going to LA or airports, you get pulled over, you can present the way bill to the law enforcement, or obviously in the case of a crash, that's your insurance rider, insurance policy for that specific trip. InDrive does not have that in the app yet, passenger or the rider app. They are working 24/7 to get it included in the app, just like the other 2 companies are. So you guys know, if you don't see it, don't think you don't have insurance. You do have insurance. This is from the head of operations of InDrive. So, okay, so
real quick, like I'll go through the driver app. Oh, you want to do this? Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're comfortable with this. I am just looking at them. So you explain these screenshots.
So, well, this screenshot, and again, that appears to be a passenger's app. So you can see 2 people counteroffered, one at 43 and one at 47. Right. And the other 2 people, accepted the person's offer. So if you think you're just going to reverse, you're going to highball somebody, they're seeing multiple offers. And again, it tells you the driver's rating. It shows you their picture. I actually like this because it encourages you to be friendly to your passengers. Because they'll remember you.
Well, so the other thing is, people remember this. Passenger cannot lowball you. So I know a lot of you are going to say, a lot of the CDU members, do have a new union. You heard about the CDU, right?
Yes.
Complaining Drivers United. They're going to say, oh, they can lowball it down to nothing. Like, no, the app won't let you lowball as a passenger. So you guys know. So,
by the way, they do have a minimum fare, and that's $5.
Oh, minimum fare is $5. Okay, cool. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So, and again, when you see the driver app, you see the pickup address, drop off address, time and distance to pick up and drop off, and you might see a passenger photo. You'll also see their how many rides they've had and what their star rating is.
Okay.
Now, when you get accepted,
Jeff, can you answer that real quick? It says Indigo says, I still don't like the no ID thing. I'm not sure what there's.
I agree with you. No, they're talking about. I talked about minors can get on board.
Oh, minors. Okay, that's a big no. We need to talk to the company about that. That's a big.
Well, I talked to them. I met a couple of people. I did Sergio knows this. I did a ride along last week where they were getting interviewed for Miami Globe magazine, an article that's going to come out. It was about an hour or so interview. Somebody recorded it. There was a photographer.
Okay.
And I don't work for them. I'm a driver for them, but I'm very passionate about seeing them succeed. And I'm going to
Okay.
stop at nothing to help, because in the long term, I think it's better for every driver and every customer. So
I agree with
um,
you. Okay. So the next
um,
screenshot, there are like a whole bunch of screenshots, but we'll go through them. This is again okay. So this one, I'll spend a minute on this. Okay. This is a long trip, people. Okay. The trip is on the right, or let's see. No. So there's a long trip, as you guys can see. Jeff explained this, and then what do you think this trip would have been priced on the Uber or Lyft app? Just tell us a little bit about the one on the left, the screenshot.
well, that's actually my ride.
Oh,
I
that's your
sent
ride.
that to you.
That's
Yeah,
the one you missed?
I didn't get the ride.
Okay.
It's a little bit small on my end, but it looks like 124 miles for $150.
Yeah. So I'll read it for Jeff, and then so the offer is $150. We obviously concealed the pickup drop-off address and passenger face or whatever. The pickup is literally 0.2 miles, 1 minute away, and the trip is going to last an hour and 55 for 124 miles. Okay, so it's a 2-hour trip, paying you $150 for 124 miles. So on UberX, and let's play the game. Chris, what do you think this would be priced in Florida on Lyft or Uber?
For the driver or for the passenger?
Oh, for the driver.
For the driver, 124 mile trip, you're looking at probably $85.
I agree. How about you, Jeff?
If that much.
Okay,
I think
so here's the deal. So this probably would have been priced at 200 on the passenger app. So passenger is probably going to save about 40-50 bucks on this trip. Uber would have paid, or Lyft would have paid the driver 85. Let's be optimistic, and the driver makes almost double. I don't see anything wrong with any of this. I'm really excited about this company. So we have no relationship with this company, okay? But this, to me, we know what's happening, Jeff and Chris, on long trips now, right? Huge haircuts on Lyft and Uber with upfront fares. This to me is gold compared to Uber and Lyft. So
I was actually pissed that they chose somebody else.
Well, yeah, you got to be quick on the trigger, buddy.
Yes, well, I am, because I don't counter offer. But and here's the other thing. So this would take me out of their coverage area.
The passenger.
Yeah, this would take me out of their coverage area. So I would use Lyft destination filter or Uber destination filter to pick up rides coming back. But again, you should always be using the apps in conjunction to get the most bang for your buck.
Exactly, except that they're going to spread out, I'm sure, to other cities now.
Absolutely.
And you may even in a couple of months, you may have their return trip on InDrive as well. So I think this is a perfect filler. I don't even think it's a filler. I think it's a leader, for Uber and Lyft drivers. I mean, what's the point, right? Just another tool in your toolbox. I don't.
In my opinion, I think they're slow rolling on purpose, because, that, like you said, they want to get all the kinks out and they want to do it right. But again, that was one of the only time I was really frustrated, because that was, that I would have gladly took that.
Okay.
I tried.
Yeah, I would have too. under upfront fares, I would have too. So next one. Next.
You got like half that though with Uber Lyft.
Yeah, I can't see that. I can't. It's too small on my.
It's $12 for a 5-minute, 1.9 mile ride.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's 1.9 miles to the pickup. Is that the letter A?
Oh, yeah. That's
so A is the pickup, and I get that the B is on the top there, but it doesn't look like too far of a ride. I would guess it's probably 7 or 8 miles, 9 miles.
Yeah.
But again, I haven't seen a ride on InDrive under $1.
Okay.
Now, again, that might not seem like a lot, but even on the long trip that you're looking at on the screen, where do you get $1 a mile on the other two companies? And I'm going to stop saying their name, because they get enough pub. But, when
it comes to long trips, you don't see that at all.
Not even close.
You're lucky if you see 50 cents or so.
And by the way, that's straight up I-95, no tolls.
Yep.
To a populated area, so you will be busy coming back.
All right, next one up. Again, this is what you see on your driver app, correct? When the trip ends, you just get whatever.
So you don't get a weekly pay statement. You get paid right away. It goes into I guess sort of like an express pay, and then you can hit a button and transfer it right to your checking account for free.
Charge you? Do they charge you for it?
No, they don't.
Oh no,
Nice.
85 cents.
No 85 cents. And usually it's the next day. It's not instant pay.
So what?
Yeah, but no, it's free.
Holy
And
shit!
then
That's
on the
right
right
there.
side, and by the way, that is my app. So that is
Okay.
a ride that I took.
Okay.
And then on the right is all the transfers I've made. And again, they're unlimited. You could see they're not all at the end of the week.
Okay.
You know, and it's pretty simple. And at the end of the month, you get a tax document every month on your app. Basically, all it says now is zeros because it shows all the fees they take out. So it's, and it shows the amount of miles. But I think it's only miles on the right. So you stay on top of logging your miles, like when your app is on and you're driving around, if you're driving around.
Okay. Well, that's a plus that you don't have to pay 85 for instant pay. Okay.
Nope.
All right. Next one.
My car.
Yeah, whose car is that?
That's me. Believe it or not, that car has 150,000 miles on it, and it's 2 years old.
You got the car wrapped.
Yeah, so they wrapped it for my interview.
Okay.
They had a program in the beginning where they paid drivers $180 a month to drive around with that.
Okay.
It's still up in the air whether I'm going to get that. Again, I didn't do it for that.
No, you're going to get that.
Well, but again, I did the ride along, and I'm sure you'll see it online when the next time you talk to Adam. They said the interview might not come out for 3 or 4 weeks, but I overheard the whole interview, and I don't think I want to say anything other than it's very encouraging. I mean, I've met 2 people already in person from InDrive, 3, and I have emailed back and forth with Adam. Again, I do not work for them, but as passionate as you are about the SMTMC, I believe in this company until they give me a reason not to. And I am going to, every last breath I have, I am going to convert everyone. And look, I don't do it using a QR code in my phone because I wouldn't scan somebody's phone in 2023. All I do is say, look, go to the App Store and compare yourself. The next time you take a big tree or a small tree ride, right? Open up the InDrive app and price it out yourself. It'll sell itself. They don't need me. But again, I will tell you one thing. I've had this car wrap now for about a week and a half. I feel like a rock star because I go to the casino the minute I get out of my car. What's InDrive? What's InDrive? What's that? What's that? You know, think about it. I mean, God, I hope I don't get deactivated from Lyft here. But, you know, when I'm going to pick up a Lyft passenger, what are they seeing when they walk into my car?
Yeah.
And by the way, if Lyft wanted to do that to my car, if they actually spoke a human to human instead of a chatbot to human, maybe my car would be peppered with Lyft stuff on it. But like you always say, I go to the highest bidder. But principally, this company, to me, could be a game changer. Only because they have deep pockets, it appears. They're established. And, it makes me feel good. And to me, it's a worthwhile investment in my time. Now, you both know that I'm not your prototypical driver. So
no,
I understand people have.
So, give me 1 minute of recap of what this is. And, I know you told us actually when you came on, you grabbed the link and came on last week. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. And you said you had 522 Lyft trips. You had everybody download the InDrive app. So I'm all like, okay. Well, we need to get you paid at some point, Adam. You're watching this, I'm pretty sure. So, there's the man right there.
And by the way, I have to tell you, I finally got a ride challenge. Now, it's not yours. It's 120 rides for $230.
That's pretty good.
But I have priority mode on. I have my 5-mile radius, and I'm doing every short trip I can take between Monday and Thursday.
Maybe the little birdie said something. I don't know.
I don't
know. Okay, I'm not getting anybody any ride challenges. I have no power, so stop emailing me. I'm pretty sure they're gonna take them.
Where's my ride challenge? What the hell?
Yeah, I will get it for myself first. But anyway, so give me like a minute of recap because we're running over. But So you like the company, you don't say anything wrong. I don't say anything wrong with anything he said so far. Other than the waybill issue, I wish him much success. I think they're going to compete and take some market share from these people. Passenger saves, driver makes almost double. I don't say anything wrong with any of this. So
there are
Yeah.
two things I would say in closing
Okay.
that I haven't had a chance to update on the stuff I send you every week about this.
Yeah.
They're a lost and found. They don't have a fee, but they do connect you with the passenger, and you could either drop it off at a police station or you can return it to them or have them come and get it. The other thing was a cleaning fee, which is, again, some of the things you just have to experience when they happen. And last night, someone had a bag of food on my back seat, and there was a huge grease spot. They don't have, you can't go through the app to request a fee. And I'd never request a fee. I just give a report. But they do have a protocol for that. Now, it's been 24 hours and I haven't heard back from them. But, they ask for pictures, your ID, the ride, stuff like that. So we'll see how that turns out. But I'm going to say InDrive is not a silver bullet. I want to just, because again, there are still going to be members of the CDU who just love conflict. They don't want solutions. They just want to keep living in a victimhood society. I don't choose to partake in that. And but I really have a good feeling about this company. But like everything else, I will continue to judge. And I told Adam this and the other people I met, I will do whatever you need me to do to make sure that InDrive succeeds in Miami and wherever else they launch in this country.
No. Well, I'm going to give you 30 more seconds here. If Uber and Lyft were not as shady and unethical and unscrupulous and whatever you want to call it, they were, would you be so hot on InDrive?
Yes, because it's better for the industry. Passengers save money. Drivers make more money. And by the way, the big tree and the little tree have brought this on themselves. I'm a retired executive. You know that in the restaurant business. Okay.
Yeah.
I have never seen a company or two companies that probably in their business model is to screw the people who make them successful. I have never seen that in any business model.
You're watching this, Uber?
They actually try to do that to you. It's just amazing. And you shouldn't have to. Look, this is driving. I always say this. I drive people to Walmart, okay? It shouldn't be this difficult. Yeah. I don't have issues with the passengers.
I agree.
But the company you represent, whether you want to call yourself an IC or an employee or whatever it is, they're actively trying to get rid of you, and they don't hide it with all these investments in autonomous vehicles. And, so it's unique. But I feel bad for drivers who do this as their main source of income and have to support their families. But if InDrive comes to you, sign up and give it a try. Yep. But don't get rid of your other two apps because you can use them to your benefit.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, you're my man in Florida, obviously. InDrive ambassador, Adam. You know what I mean? And we thank you, man. I mean, it went a little longer than I thought it would go, obviously, but hey, we just cut the other ones because this is important for the driver community. This is a serious competitor, okay? This is definitely a tool in your toolbox if it does come to your city to give it a shot. And, passenger saves, driver makes more. That's what we want out of Uber and Lyft, and they're not doing it at the moment. So, okay, thank you, sir. I'll be in your tail or on your tail, whatever, to keep getting info out of you. And what better man than you, sir? So thank you, man.
I'm counting the days to Herbivore. I'm looking forward to giving you a hug. I really am.
Absolutely. You got that. You got double hugs, buddy.
Both of you guys. You guys are doing God's work.
Harry better be getting the airplane tickets.
Where's Harry? He was here, wasn't he here?
I don't know. He was here earlier. So Harry, if you're watching, you better get
Harry. This whole crew is coming, Harry. There's no bullshit this time.
And make sure they get all the super chats, Harry. Okay.
That I don't know. So
Zoom, appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
It's called buying the hen that feeds you.
Yeah. Well,
All right. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Now I can watch the rest and get back into commenting.
Yep. We'll have you on again to give some updates and once they launch into their next city, maybe have you as the talker to, or the driver ambassador who can help some other drivers in those particular markets.
And if
So
I get any
appreciate
heads
that.
up as to when this interview is coming out, I'll share a link with you guys so you can get it out to the
Oh,
drivers.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Have a good
All right,
one.
be
Thank
safe.
you again.
Be
All
safe.
right, thanks,
Thank
Jeff.
you.
We'll see you in
Bye-bye.
6 weeks. All right.
You
bye.
got it.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.